right, and welcome to the Lions Fan Cave Chat as a post-game show. And guess what, boys? It's Victory Friday. How good does that feel?
Yeah, awesome.
All right, I
It's
got
amazing.
8091. I got Wise Bearded Dad and Captain Kangaroo here. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
I'm doing fantastic. For
Damn
one,
good.
For once, I filled out an idea of what they should do in a preview. It actually got done in week one, and they win. It wasn't pretty. It was a defensive slobber knocker. I mean, we had to put up with third down formations like this.
Yep.
Can't believe they let
Pretty
you end
bad.
up a spot like that all.
That was so bad. It's so blatant too.
Yep.
Chad Datima says, Howdy. Good to see you, Chad. It was an amazing game overall. Was Goff perfect? No. Was Mahomes Mahomes? Yes, he was.
Eh?
Oh, Chad wants in. All right. Let's get him in here.
Realistically, you look at Mahomes' stats for the game. If Tony just caught the ball and didn't even get any more yards, he goes over 300 yards in that game.
Oh, easily. Kadarius Tony was not a help. He was a hindrance to that team, and I'm surprised he still has a job right now.
Oh no, I heard he was put on the injured reserve because he has broken hands.
Hopefully, he got slammed in a car door or something.
But in all fairness, did he miss most preseason due to an injury?
He's missed most of his career due to an injury.
That too.
Oh, James Burgess. Somebody read that for me because I can't read now. I'm laughing.
Tony couldn't catch COVID in Wuhan, China. So he's related to
Wow,
Eric Ebron.
that's
Does
good.
Wuhan even exist anymore after COVID?
Did you really just compare him to Eric Ebron, man? Do not insult Ebron that bad, man. That's horrible.
Right.
Ouch. Wow.
Eric Ebron was an improvement because at least when he was thrown to 49 times in the end zone by Andrew Luck, he caught 13 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When Eric Ebron was here, I mean, when COVID came out, we were like, we don't need to worry about Eric Ebron. He can't catch anything.
And I can't wait for Dom to get here because it's going to be funny. He's got a story about Eric Ebron for everybody. And Chad is here. Welcome, Chad.
What up?
Howdy, fellas.
What a day.
Howdy.
A
Good.
little under 24 hours later, and I'm still reeling in this win. King
I'm in it.
SJ says, hey, guys, happy Victory Friday. Donkey Kong.
Just a magnitude of how big this one is.
Let's enjoy it until Sunday. Then we got to
Howdy, Patty.
concentrate on Seattle. You know, I'm enjoying it for the next couple days.
Braden
Oh,
Dennis,
easily.
what's up? Still waiting for Mr. Pike to make his appearance.
So I heard you guys talking about Tony when I left out of the chat to get in, and one thing I got to say about the guy, no question, the guy knows how to get open. He's pretty good at getting
That's
open.
all good and dandy, but you got to be able to catch the
You gotta
ball.
catch it.
I got to
yeah.
make this bigger so I can read it.
Yeah.
They had to put Tony on the IR because Casey doesn't have a doghouse close enough to the facility. Yeah, that being said,
What about our number 2? I mean, he literally dropped 3 pretty crucial passes. The fumble, you can't blame him. Anybody would have fumbled with that helmet to the ball hit like that.
yeah, I know, but
Well, yeah, that was just a great defensive play. Absolutely.
but with that 3 straight drop passes just before that.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, Marvin Jones. That
And I'm sorry, as if I was coaching or the coordinator, Ben Johnson, I'd have went to Dan Campbell. Can we put Green in, please?
They
We need
didn't
someone
put
to
him in
catch
for a
that's
reason.
all.
Did he even play one ball, one snap?
Not one snap.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. So
Oh, we got somebody else in here. Let's see who we got. Oh, it is Mountain Man Jeff.
Yeah, Brian. I think I pulled a few Few
Uh-oh, he
hairs
looks
out last
frozen.
night.
He looks like he's doing his impersonation of Elsa.
That's frozen.
Hey, I think Mahomes would have been better. Not Mahomes. I mean, the coach, Reed, would have been better off when there was 3 minutes left, saying just get out of the way of the field and let him score. And he would have had a better chance putting the ball in Mahomes' hands for 3 minutes than going for on 4th and 20 and 4th and 25.
Oh, Jeff popped out. He must be having some.
For what he was saying in the post game, he went for it on 4th and 20 and 4th and 25 because he didn't think he was going to get the ball back if he didn't.
But he at one point they had 3 minutes left. They could have just let us score. We wouldn't have went for the two most likely. Maybe we would have, but then there's 50-50. We get it. We're only up by 8. They can score and do a 2-point. He had better odds of doing that than going for those 2 fourth downs, I think.
Are you there,
You guys
Jeff?
hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
now.
I can hear you.
Cheers, JB.
No, Chris Smith wants in. Let me send him a link. We're getting all the Lions fans in here tonight.
Also, man, what you were just talking about, though, about letting them score in that, you have Patrick Mahomes, his 4th down. He's one of the best quarterbacks.
They still almost converted it, too. That's the thing.
Exactly. You let him go.
No, they did, and it was almost picked by CJGJ.
It just oversailed a couple of guys' heads.
No, CJGJ got his hand on the one. Right?
On the one, the other one, it just oversailed their heads.
Nope.
Guys, this is premature, and I know it, but I got the same vibe from Branch. I got from going to the Joe to see Lidstrom's first home game. He just has that pro ball. This is more like it.
Damn right.
Oh, and here
That was a hell of a play.
Christopher Smith.
Chris.
You know what?
What's going
And Jeff
on,
is
y'all?
back.
What's going on?
What's up?
You back, Jeff?
What up?
Nope.
Campbell breaking up that 3rd down play in the linebacker position, reaching out there and knocking that ball down. That was incredible.
That was slick.
That was nice.
I think the way we won this game, it's going to strike fear in the Seahawks. It should.
Yes.
Damn right.
Don't sleep
Oh,
on
the
them.
Seahawks are going to be in trouble.
Last year.
Do
I'm
not
saying
sleep
this-
on them.
Chad, let me finish.
Okay.
I do think it struck fear into the Seahawks because the Chiefs and us were both higher scoring offenses than they were last season as a whole. RD held the Super Bowl champion, who no matter who they didn't have on their roster, we held the number 1 offense and the Super Bowl champion Chiefs to 20 points.
All right, can you all hear me now?
Yes, sir. I can
Yeah.
see you too.
Yes, sir.
Where
Yeah, I
you?
had to switch to the
Yes,
iPad.
sir.
I don't know what the fuck was going on there.
Romeo played
Bleaching from
12
the
snaps.
Dutton Ranch.
Wait, no, Romeo was a scratch.
Yep.
He was a scratch.
The one that I was upset about the scratches when I looked at it was Stephen Gilmore.
Yeah.
Hey, JB.
Yeah.
Do you really think that strikes fear into the Seahawks, though? Considering they have 3 legit wide receivers and 2 running backs that are better than any of the running backs on Kansas City Chiefs.
They also got a lot of people who are questionable too this week. So I mean, they're a little banged up as well. And I'm not really too worried about. I mean, let's see Geno Smith do this again in year 2. I mean, he started to wane a little bit at the end there last year.
I'm giving you my 5 hot players right now. Let's go over the hot players in my book, and then we'll go around the horn to see if they're the same. I got Aleem McNeil, and I don't care what anybody says. Aiden Hutchinson. I've got Brian Branch, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jared Goff. DC?
I agree with you on all of them, but I would throw in David Montgomery because he put on his man suit and fucking killed that last drive. David Montgomery has my respect right now.
Well, he gets an honorable mention for sure, but I always do my top 5. I couldn't put Montgomery above those guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if anyone, I agree with all of them. Montgomery would be honorable mention or a debatable close to any of them, but yeah.
And I in my honorable mentions, let's see. I already said David Montgomery. You got to throw Jameer Gibbs.
Oh yeah.
He had 60 all-purpose yards.
I got to put Montgomery in the top 5, though. I mean, he averaged 3.5 yards per carry, and it's like they were putting 5 defensive linemen in there and like completely stacking the box for
At,
most of the game.
at one point, there was 8 men in the box, and they couldn't stop him from getting in the end zone.
I mean,
Yep.
it's still averaging 3.5 yards a carry. Like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, because the first half it looked like our O line wasn't really opening up the run lanes as much to begin with. That's why we went with the change of pace. That and David Montgomery ran out of his shoe. So once he had to leave the field, he had to stay off for a little bit.
I mean,
But,
they were stacking that box on us, and
Okay.
David Montgomery was still breaking through the line.
yep, he does
Still,
not go down at first contact. That's
no,
one of the things he led the league in.
He went down on first contact when Bolton ran his ass over.
he got fucking trucked.
Oh,
He got
Yeah,
He got
that was pretty
steamrolled.
embarrassing.
was
trucked.
that the running play when the whole left side of the line fell down?
No,
I
that
got
was the
back.
tripping
No.
play when he got knocked on his ass and threw it,
Yeah.
and his feet got put up and slowed the guy down.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing.
I want to give my top 5.
All right, what are your top 5 there, Jared?
Chad,
I
Aiden
know, but
Hutchins.
I'm gonna go around the horn. Everybody will
Oh,
get their
okay.
chance.
All right.
DC did his. What do you got, Jared?
Oh, I pretty much was going to go with yours, but I was just going to substitute one of them with David Montgomery just because for what I was saying. I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head, but I think David Montgomery should definitely be in the top 5 just how he was running last night.
You got Josh Reynolds in your top 5? I can't put him above Amon-Ra or Goff. And I'm not putting him above the 3 defensive guys I said either. All right.
Who'd you
What do
say
you
on
got?
defense? You said Brian. Who'd you say on defense? Brian Branch,
I said Aleem
Lee
McNeil,
McNeil.
Aiden Hutchinson,
Yeah,
and Brian Branch.
yeah. Well, I'd agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson played a hell of a game, even with all the fucking holding going on and still getting constant pressure. Just relentless. That dude is just fucking relentless.
Did you see the one triple team where he was like 3 guys on him, all had hands on him, and he still got through?
Those
Mhm.
those spin moves, man. He
That
spins
was
one way, then he spins back the other. I mean, shit.
that had a little bit of that Barry type of vibe to it on that run, didn't it?
It
Just a
kind of, in
little.
a
Yes,
I'm
it
not
way,
saying
did.
how
it
he
was as
moved.
good. I'm just saying it had a little bit of that Barry vibe to it with Gibbs when on that run. Okay, Chad, who's your top 5?
Well, I'm going to start sarcastically. I'm going to go Hutchinson, St. Brown, and Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds had more yards than anybody but Goff on the field. That's why I'm putting him in there. He made that crucial third down catch at 3rd and 12, or we don't win the game. So that's why I'm putting Josh in there. But Jameer Gibbs, Brian Branch, I even seen Comiskey. He was
Oh,
they never even pointed him out, but if you watch, he was a pain in the butt every time he was in there.
Kaminsky played a good game for sure.
He didn't put up numbers, but he impacted the game.
all right. Who you got, Dan?
Well, first I'm going with Brian Branch. And I'd also want to point out about Brian Branch, only me and Cook said that he was the best defensive back in the entire draft. I just want to point that out.
And it wasn't just you two.
Yeah.
No, I said he was the best secondary picked in the draft. Yes. And so did Jeremy, I believe.
But anyway, so we got Branch. Then we'll go with Goff, even though I hate saying that because I don't like Jared Goff. St. Brown. I like Gardner Johnson in there because all his shit talking really got them all fucked up.
Yeah.
And he blasted Pacheco, which is great.
Pacheco threw a punch at him.
But here's my one that none of y'all put in there. Sam Laporta.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He played a hell of a game.
And my
That
honorable
He had
dive
some
from
nice
the
blocks
third
too.
Wait.
That dive backflip for the first down, that was like awesome.
Okay, now let him finish, though, because he was talking, guys.
My two honorable mentions: Jameer Gibbs, who should start over, but I'm sure everybody knows, and Kadarius Toney because he won that game for you guys.
All right, Jeff. How about yours?
Oh, I'm going Aiden Hutchinson, of course. I'm going to put Gardner Johnson in there too. The guy was, flying around making plays, was always around the ball the whole damn game. Let's see. Amon Ra, I'm going to put him in there because he was consistent. I mean, he was the dude that was going to get open when we needed him. And honestly, there's a bunch of players on that fringe. Sam Laporta's right there, Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery. There's a bunch of players right on that fringe. Everybody was making plays as a team, So.
And for all of you fans, this is what the Lions thought of that Super Bowl celebration, including up to MCDC.
I laughed. Chris Jones had a suite for the whole thing. He bails on his team and sits there and enjoys the game. What an idiot.
So
And yes,
I would have traded his ass right there before halftime even came up. As soon as they showed his picture on TV, he would have been crazy.
Brian
I would have took
Trade
a nugget for his
Yeah.
ass.
Brian Three Cushions says Josh Pascal played a good game and
He did.
wasn't if he wasn't messing.
Did anybody even hear Kirby Joseph's name said at all yesterday?
Yeah,
Kirby
once.
Joseph, he was in on a couple of plays, both basically when it was a group pass defense. He was always there. He did get burned in the first half, but the secondary got burned a lot in the first half, which is one of the reasons why they had their 2 touchdown drives. So he had an up and down game, but he got more solid as the game get on, as did the secondary. But
once
actually,
they switched to more once they switched to more of a zone scheme, it was kind of like he was kind of sitting back playing that center fielder,
Yeah.
stopping things from going too deep.
Yeah, I was about to say I was waiting for my top five. I definitely want to put in the spin.
I'm sorry.
All right.
go
I was
ahead.
about to say.
What's the rest of them?
All right, my top five. I'm gonna go with the position that I played in football. Definitely Jameer Gibbs, even though that they was trying not to burn him out because this is his first year in the NFL and it goes a lot faster. David Montgomery, that boy was a everything. He ain't no cowboy no more. He a saxophone. As far as defense, CJ got to give it to him. Another offense, Sam Laporta, and then Brian Branch. My honorable mentions would be Kirby Joseph because, like JB said, he really was developing, and then once he got into the second half of the game, that's when he started warming up, which was almost too late, but he still contribute. My other honorable mention is Jason Kabenda because they used him exactly like how I said, a decoy and a blocking back.
Hey, you
That's a
could say he
good
was
call.
a decoy out there, but there's no way in hell Goff was throwing to Kabinda because he can't catch a
No.
COVID in Wuhan.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Kabinda ran
absolutely.
right up the middle on that one first down throw by Goff. Kabinda ran up the middle, and it looked like Goff was wide open. Like Kabinda threw their defense totally off. He just,
Right.
yep, he was just a decoy.
Yeah,
He trucked up the
absolutely.
middle. Yep.
And James James Burgess says sidebar. Grossi had another branch frustration reaction video. Yeah, I posted it and sent it out. It was pretty funny.
It was.
This better than Marvin Jones. Leave Jones alone. He's old.
Hey, and
Now
say what you
Jones,
want. That's Marvin Jones' worst game in 10 years, and the very first time he fumbled in 10 years in the
yeah,
NFL.
and I don't blame him for the fumble either. Anybody would have fumbled
No,
there.
I'm just saying it happens. Look, Swaggy when he was here, he never fumbled till the Dallas game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best throw and reception of the game goes to Kansas City. That was incredible. I thought we picked the ball off. Who was in on that?
Oh,
Yeah,
Valdez Scantling.
Was
Yeah,
that
who
the
was
one
in
where
on
it
the
went over
coverage for it?
Rodrigo?
I don't
Yeah,
know. I can't remember.
it was incredible. It was like Mahomes threw it to a paper plate. There was that much room to get it in, and he did. I
Yeah.
was like, that's where I thought we were going to lose after that completion. I'm like, Mahomes is too good.
Jared and I was talking about that earlier. It's like I think there's 2 quarterbacks who can make that throw in the NFL.
Aaron Rodgers. I got to give it to him.
Oh, I
Well,
guess so.
Karen Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers in his prime. Does he still got it? That's the question.
Oh, Brent DeWitt,
That's a very tight window.
you
That's a
asked the
tight window.
question I've asked for the last ever since we got rid of Michael Burton. How dangerous would we be if we had a fullback that could catch a fucking pass?
Ooh.
Are fullbacks still in position in the NFL, honestly?
Other than like Kyle Juszczyk, I couldn't name you a fullback.
And Patrick Ricard.
We've got one, but we need him on the offensive line. His name's Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's the one that plays tight end 3 that barely saw the field last night. It's James Mitchell who also played fullback.
Yeah.
JB.
We need a Corey Schlesinger.
Now that you tight end, man. Why
Say
weren't
what?
they running more 2 tight end sets with Wright and Laporta?
Because Wright's the better blocker at the line. So
Yeah.
Laporta's able to go out and receive, and it's like having 6 offensive linemen out there in the passing game.
Right.
Yeah, but Wright's not horrible as a wide receiver either.
No, he's not. He caught a couple last night.
No,
He dropped one too.
Mm-hmm.
The key to that game, and we said it right when the Chiefs got the ball. We need a big turnover right here. They got their first down. It was 2nd down. Patrick Mahomes dropped back the pass. GJ's jumping on Tony's brick hands. It pops up, and say what you want. That was an amazing play that Branch did to intercept that ball. He caught it like he was filming a bunt that bounced too high.
Yeah, he had to reach back with one hand.
Yeah, it was like this and pulled it in.
Yep.
And then he was off to the races. And you tell me if that looked like a 4.540 from that 50-yard line.
Did you hear what John Dorn said?
He ran 20.54 miles per hour on that play. Fastest in the
Yep. Did you hear what John Dorn said in the Frozen Tundra tonight, Jeremy?
No.
He says, "I guess I got it wrong. I guess Branch is faster than I thought he is."
Yep.
Well,
he ran like he had a pit bull on his ass. Excuse my French.
Anybody who watched Brian Branch's game tape knew this dude ain't slow.
Right.
The guy flies all the way all around the field. At Alabama, he did it, and he did it last night too.
And it was the same with Amon-Ra St. Brown coming out of USC. He had a slow 40 time in pajamas, but in pads with the ball in his hand, he looked fast.
There's track time and there's game time. They're 2 totally different speeds.
Right.
True story.
You know who never looked fast with the football in his hands and had one of the fastest 40 times ever? John Ross.
Who's John Ross?
He couldn't get the football in his hands because he couldn't catch it.
No, but even when he was kicking punt returning, he did not look anywhere
Still
near
couldn't
that
catch it.
4.22 speed he posted at the combine.
No, he didn't.
I took notice of something.
What's that?
Everybody's just trying to boot it in the end zone. They don't want to mess with that new the new kicker rule.
Because why do you want to give him the 25 by booting it short? Because if you got any decent special teams, that kick returner should be smart enough to raise his hand and just say, "Fuck it, we're on the 25."
Right.
Or there's more of a chance for running one back too.
That's why every game this year, bet on the first kick of the game being a touchback.
There you go.
And I'm going to say the way I felt about the first half. The first half, thank God it was only 14-7. Because we played C football. in that first half. The secondary wasn't having good communication, weren't getting to their assignments. They were getting blown open a lot. They could barely stop Pacheco anytime he bounced it outside the tackle. But
Pacheco only
the
had
offense.
what, 30 yards? Not even
right,
26.
but I'm just saying he was getting 3 to 5 yards every time he went outside the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started getting some tackles for loss. All right at the end of the second quarter and the end of the game.
Yeah. I'll tell you a guy I want to shout out is Levi Onwuzurike, a guy I didn't think would play in the NFL again.
Yeah. 34
I did
snaps
not
at
think
D
he would
tackle,
play,
12 at DN.
and he played good. I mean, he didn't have nothing flashy, but he was moving. He was moving offensive linemen out
He had
there.
a nice middle of the road, just below 70 PFF grade.
And that's fine for a guy coming off back surgery. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Got his fucking spine fused.
When
He
I
has
saw him
spine
on the field,
fused.
I freaked. I'm like, oh no! But then it ended up just being cramps.
Hey, look at that. It is Smoking Dad back in the chat. Hallelujah. I'm back. Uninstalled and
Hey,
reinstalled. Whew.
what
Hey,
what'd
guys.
you all think when Brian Branch went out? And it's like, and it just ended up being cramps with him too. I was like, oh no, John Dorn, we're never gonna live this down. He went out.
But it
When he
looked
went
like
down,
cramps
I
right from the
wasn't
get go.
worried because
Yeah.
all he clutched was his calf. And the game time temperature was 82 degrees at night with 92% humidity in Kansas City.
Right.
And when you watch the trainer, the way he was working on him, and then the way he walked off the field, it was like, yeah, that's cramps.
Well, Dad,
Yeah.
we got Jeff. We got Wise Bearded Dad. We got Chris Smith. We got a guy you haven't seen very much of, and that's Chad Datima. We got Dan Leonard back, and of course, DC. Nice well-rounded crew. I'm hoping that Dom can jump in here shortly because he said he would, but the gauntlet might be running late too. But the key stats to me: Patrick Mahomes, 7 drops on those wide receivers. Right? That's what I saw in the stat sheet. It was 7 drops.
We had more.
The Lions had more. But Jared Goff completed 62.2% of his passes. Pat Mahomes completed 52.2% of his passes. That to me is the key stat to the game.
Yep.
Aiden
And
Hutchinson caused that, man. Aiden Hutchinson was in his butt the whole game.
yeah,
He
even
could
with
hear
Juwan
Aiden
Taylor cheating,
screaming.
he
Yeah.
was still able to get pressure. Now, what the difference was in the first half, when he would get pressured, they could escape the pocket because the other side was, and Pascal was held quite a few times, so was Harris. I don't care what anybody says, they showed him in replays and you could see the holds happening, and they weren't getting called.
No, they
Nope.
weren't.
Oh no. And to be honest, I kind of figured. I mean, you're at Kansas City, the defending Super Bowl champs' house. You're the Detroit Lions. You're not going to get those calls on the road.
They're raising the
I'm used to that.
You know,
I've seen that.
I'm glad they weren't calling penalties all night and they just let these guys play, honestly. So
Yeah,
the ref-
I saw a lot of holding by Detroit too that wasn't called. They did let them play, but there was more holding on KC for sure. They were holding more.
Yep.
I also caught a false start by Detroit too, right after Kansas City's false start. That wasn't called. The jump by the offensive lineman.
Yeah,
So
I think
they were let play.
wasn't it Jonah?
Yep,
yes.
it was Jonah. But my favorite call of the game, false start by everyone but the center.
Right.
So the false start was really the center.
I'd never heard that before.
That was hilarious.
Well, Chris Smith, I'm gonna
I
refresh
said
your
I
memory. We
huh?
heard it before, but it was in a movie. It was The Replacements.
Oh yeah. You right. Now I remember. Now
Was
it's
he
the
just
second
trying to
time
be
I heard
funny
it.
because the center's the one that caused everybody to go off? Was he just being funny?
No.
No, the
In that
center didn't
movie,
move.
Yeah,
everybody
he did. He
else,
tilted
the
his head.
snap count was supposed to be 2, and as soon as he said hike the first time, everybody but the center moved in the movie.
Yep.
And when I say
Yep.
everybody, the quarterback pulled up, the running back, the fullback, both the tight end, both wide receivers, everybody but the center.
Mhm.
And James Burgess, you got it absolutely right. Goff did his job. He runs the machine, and it was just enough to win in prime time on the road at a place that is
Yes,
historically
sir.
difficult for the road team.
And how about that catch by Raymond? What happened with when Goff got hit in the mid throw? That ball was wobbling so bad,
While
and
you give
Raymond adjusted. Raymond had to adjust. There's no way that
right,
the ball didn't go where it was intended to go. Raymond adjusted and caught that.
right, and to the credit of Josh Reynolds making that key third
Or
down catch
Reynolds,
that
yeah,
everybody
Reynolds.
gives him credit for. Goff was hit. The ball didn't come out right. It was it was spiral, but it had a slight wobble to it. But it fit between three defenders to where he was in space perfectly.
Yeah, as I
Hmm.
watched that ball wobble, I thought interception until it was caught.
King SJ brings up
You're,
another good stat. Kansas City was 0 for 7 in third downs in the second half.
Yep.
I think they were 1
Yep.
for 8 though because they got
Seven,
their first down to get out there to where they were going for second down at midfield.
7 of them were to Kadarius Toney, weren't they?
He
Some
only
of them were
dropped
due to
4.
Kadarius Toney, yes.
Couldn't be. He only dropped 4.
He dropped like 30.
He dropped like 30.
Yeah,
I
fuck
think
that.
Only
he,
I
4.
think they're gonna end up trading that dude because
No,
he was
man.
just massacred.
the
Don't,
funniest
he
thing I
got
heard was in a
open.
video that I sent into the chat. I don't know if you guys watched it, but he said there Pat Mahomes threw to 900 receivers and all of them sucked.
Yeah.
Mahomes last night when Houston had him by the leg. I give that man so much credit for just being able to get that ball off, let alone put it where somebody was in the area.
He's a
That
Right.
was,
freak.
Yeah.
He's a
I
freak.
still think the whistle should have been
the
blown.
human cheat code.
He
There was
held.
one
He had him long enough. It should have. The whistle should have blown.
But he was still moving around, though. I think that's why he couldn't.
right.
Right. Y'all
Well,
talking about the shoestring tackle?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. But anyways,
Right.
there was one play when they watched the review, and it was so close to not being outside the tackle box that that call could have went either way, incomplete pass or intentional grounding. He rolled
Yeah.
to the left, and he moved just slightly back to the right before he threw the ball. That one was a little questionable.
Hey, can
Yeah,
we talk
Mahomes.
Hmm.
about the fumble that wasn't a fumble? I mean, because I'm confused about that. He got hit in the air, so he's considered down when the guy's foot hit him when his feet weren't touching the ground. What happened with that?
Okay, the
His
fumble
arm.
that wasn't a fumble, he
Yeah.
had the ball tucked in his arm. When he hit the ground, it popped out.
The
Oh
ground can't cause a
yeah.
fumble.
The
yeah,
ground cannot
his
cause a
elbow hit the
fumble.
ground, right?
Yup, his elbow hit.
Yeah.
Offensive lineman can't move before the ball snapped either, so you see how that works.
Yeah, they also
But
can't line up as a running back either, but
And that was a weak pass interference. I mean, yeah, he touched him, but that goes on every game. Every play
Right.
darn near you see that.
He didn't just
Yeah,
he pushed him past that ball clearly.
oh, Cam Sutton,
yeah,
that's what you're
that
talking
it's
about.
pass
Yeah,
interference
that was
call.
pass interference.
That was
First look,
100% pass
It was.
interference.
first look at it, I was screaming bullshit, and then they showed the replay. I'm like, all right, I'll settle down.
yeah,
Right.
but
I
they let
did the
that
same
stuff
thing
go.
yesterday. Yep.
They let that stuff go all the time.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
that was a catchable ball, and he pushed him past the ball.
And he also had a
And
hold.
again, you're at
If
Arrowhead.
you
You're
watch,
playing the
The
Chiefs.
wait, if you
defending
watch
Super
You're
Bowl
not gonna.
champions.
in the slow-mo, you also saw that he had a hold of his right arm, which kept him from being able to reach up for the pass that sailed past him.
It looked like Cam Sutton accelerated at the last minute trying to make a play on the ball, but he just ran into the dude
Now the
instead.
receiver actually
Yeah.
had to slow down, is what I saw. Because
Either way,
Cam was beat. Cam was beat. He was
right,
beat by 3 yards. The receiver had to slow down, and Cam caught up.
right. But
Either way,
still,
you have
it
to
was
have your,
pass interference.
either way, it's pass
He
interference.
didn't get his head back in time, and he impeded the chance of the catch without, without looking back.
There was plenty of bad calls or no calls, I should say. on
Way
the in
more no
the
calls, I think, on the Kansas City side than on the Detroit side, but we did have a couple.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
But either way, one thing I like is normally as Lions fans, we're sitting here blaming the refs for everything. This time the refs clearly were not on our side, but we didn't give a shit. Overcame and won the game.
Yeah, I watched Penny.
10-4.
I watched Penny Sewell just take a guy and throw him to the ground, and there was no flag.
Yep. The refs basically took themselves out of the game, which I think they should do all the time, because they don't want to.
They let him play, and it was nice. You got to see legitimate football without the flags.
And
But
everybody
Well,
talking about the Jawan Taylor thing, how he was lined up all back and all that. Okay, yeah, it's a little unfair, but at the same time, it also gives you an advantage because when he was doing a run play, he was up on that line. He wasn't back at all. So right
Right,
there, you get tipped off your defense as your pass.
right.
let them play between the
Maybe that's why the Lions weren't complaining about it.
Did you see what they did in the second half?
This guy's letting us know.
Did you did you see what they did in the second half to negate that? They moved Hutch to the
Inside.
secondary D end on that side in that five men front, so he'd be lined up
Yep.
on the guard.
Yeah.
That was brilliant because that guard couldn't stop Hutch for nothing.
Exactly.
No.
Frankly, the
Neither
strength on either side.
Juwan Taylor couldn't stop him either. That's why he had to hold him all game.
That
And
was sick.
Yep.
Colin Cowherd actually gave credit to the Lions. It's the first time I ever heard him say it like this. He goes, credit to the Detroit Lions. They won a game they normally don't win. They were behind. The calls weren't going their way. There's calls going, not even calls going at all. And they came back and they did the thing to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, that's
Just
what real
like
Yep.
their
football team.
coach, they
Yeah,
were they were determined. They
yeah. Then
played
we
hard. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty, but they got it done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
and
that's
then
what
And my
real football teams
cheers,
do.
JB.
yeah, but then we get the dipshit national
Exactly.
broadcaster that comes on after the game, who's supposed to be kind of a Detroit hypey guy, and says, "Well, there'll be an asterisk behind this game." It's like, dude, what the what the hell? What are you saying?
I
Right.
think it could have been more talking about towards KC and not Detroit.
No, he's
Should
saying
have
there
been
was
like,
no. He specifically said there's going to be an asterisk behind this game because no Jones and no Kelsey. No, we still brought our 48. They brought their 48, and we won. There is
Amen.
no
Right.
asterisk.
oh, I agree.
I I sat there and I said, you know what? Then if that's the case, then all those guys that were saying that we were boo-hooing about being so injured in 2021 when we lost a lot of games that we shouldn't have because we were injured, we had a mash unit for a team. We were hiring
Yep.
At the,
grocery baggers and car wash clerks.
and at the end of the day, this is the NFL. This is a win or lose game. Injuries happen all the time. You can't sit there and use that as an excuse. I
Right.
mean, us as Lion fans, we've been told this for decades. The refs and the injuries are no excuse.
Exactly.
Oh
Win
yeah.
or lose, next man up.
Hold on
Exactly.
1 second here. 1 second here. In the chat here, Crazy Ken said he couldn't watch the game because they have streaming services and they canceled cable. None of their stuff streaming affiliated with NBC.
I got them covered.
You told them to download Peacock?
No, I'm gonna get them my link.
Well, you can do that too, but Peacock it's like $1.09 a month or whatever, and it's freaking NBC's freaking streaming service.
YouTube. And
But this
I
was
watch on
this
YouTube
was
TV.
Yeah, but they're expensive.
Hey, Dad, just ask Jeff. How good is that streaming service, Jeff?
Oh, I was happy.
He's
I
in
was
Montana and could watch the game.
I was pretty excited. I mean,
That's that NFL Plus.
being able to watch the game from home and not have to go to a bar and spend $100 on food and beers, I was pretty damn excited.
There you go.
I mean, my wife, who was in the other room, had to listen to me scream for, fucking 2 hours, but hey.
Mine watched the game with me, and she was screaming. I love it. My girlfriend's great. She's like the biggest football junkie in the world.
Hey, my wife doesn't complain about me watching football and yelling. I don't give a fuck. If she watches it,
exactly. That's exactly.
Now, I understand that Jawan Taylor worked with NFL refs for a few years in Jacksonville to get away with what he did, But when the head referee that's been retired for 5 years, which is as long as Jawan Taylor's been in the league, says that this is atrocious and a blatant disregard for the rules on where to line up on the same. This is my one rant. Everybody else can have another rant if they want. There should be something done to those refs for not calling.
Yeah, maybe send them
Yep.
to NFL ref school again, I guess.
Because the letter of the rule is that the crown of the helmet has to be at the center's waistband. That guy was lining up so
Yep.
far in the backfield, he was lined up like a fullback.
He was.
Right.
If you watch it, his crown is at the guard's waistband.
Right.
And we won't even get into his cat-like reflexes of like timing the snap either just perfect, or the fact that he's jumping off sides early every play.
Yep. I have to hand it to the Lions because if I was lined up against someone who did that, I would jump in and Deacon Jones head slap their ass and just point him and be like, he's offsides. What? He moved. I would absolutely do that. I would fuck that tackle up. I'd be like, nope, he moved. What are you talking about? He moved.
Yeah.
No.
Deacon Jones head slap him.
DC's from the ages where the stadiums were made of wood and the men were made of steel. The old school leather helmets.
DC is
And
from
there
the
was
age
still
where
there was
men
still
were men and
cocaine
the
in the
women were
Coke.
men too.
Oh yeah.
That
Hey,
being
The
said,
Coke,
Dad
cocaine,
has a
lunch
question
breaks,
for
lunch
everybody on the
breaks.
panel. Okay, now I want to know what all the hoopla is over 69. My wife prefers 68 and she owes me one.
Ah,
Dude, is he talking about your mom? That's awkward.
That's a classic.
68's talking about a beer belly, right?
Yep. But anyways, okay, do you have a rant about this game at all, DC?
I've got a little. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh. Well, maybe I should say that the NFL officiating took a page out of Gary Bettman's NHL officiating to protect Sidney Crosby. It was terrible. I mean, they basically let it go and let the holding go and everything else because we could have taken Mahomes out. We were all over him. They let all that go through. But, you know, if that's the worst thing, they eventually made up for it. They didn't kill us too bad. But other than that, you know, if the officials would just actually drop the PR aspect of their goddamn game, or the NFL would stop making the officials part of their press release and press team and actually call the game the way it's supposed to be played. I mean, I don't know anyone else who would have a problem with that other than fantasy owners. But, you know, other than that, I don't have too much to bitch about. We kicked ass. They didn't.
All right. What's your rant there, Jared?
I don't have one.
You don't have one now? Okay.
No.
Chris, you got a rant at all?
Yeah, I got a rant. That damn that tackle that wouldn't come up. He wasn't near his torso. That was the only, and they did that near the whole game. But that's okay. We still got the victory. And another rant is, you know, Goodell had a bet against Sheila Hemp, and Sheila won. So we in the elite club. Yeah.
Chad, what's your rant?
It's not necessarily a rant per se, and there's a comment I want to make. But I thought the offsetting penalties with the Penei Sewell thing, I didn't think Penei Sewell really overreacted as much as the Kansas City guy. I thought it should have been a 15-yard penalty on KC. That's not, you know, but it went either way. But I'm also a non-rant easily that because it was Patrick Mahomes and he got hit and several times he got slammed to the ground. There easily could have been a fake roughing the passer call, and there wasn't. So I'm going to give the refs props for that. They let him play.
Dan?
I could agree.
Okay. My two things here. First, I'm going to start with the reps. I loved it. I love that they just let the guys play. It was beautiful. They didn't hold up the game. No bullshit calls really affecting anything. And I think a lot of that is now they're afraid to have the bad PR out there because they're being held liable on social media and all that. And then my second rant is, God damn it, why the hell didn't you guys use Jamar Gibbs way more? That guy is fucking lightning. He is exciting to watch.
He's a rookie.
I don't care rookie or not. 60 yards and touch the ball like 5 times.
Yeah.
Wait till year 2.
Wait till week
Oh,
10.
it ain't even year 2. Wait till the fucking watch the rest of this season.
Look at that play where he fell on his face. If he doesn't slip there, there's nobody.
He's got a
10 yards
touchdown. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
right.
We all said
Yeah.
that, man. He was wide open and he lost his footing. I was
He
like,
was
man,
gone.
he had a tutty.
Look at that screen pass for a first down. The dude caught the ball and then was at the first down line fucking instantly.
Yeah.
Lightning quick.
And when he caught the ball, he didn't put his hands up to give it away right away. His hands went up fractions of seconds before the ball was there. If he put his hands up early, like a lot of the guys do, then people can read that. Yeah. I don't think they even realized the ball was going to him.
All right.
And
Now,
like this. Well, one more thing, JB. I just got one more word. I'm done. Well, 2 more things. I'm sorry. First, with Jahmyr Gibbs, it's just like Al Davis said. Speed thrills. And then my last thing for the night, fuck Kadarius Toney.
all right. James Burgess says his rant, Lions fans trapped. No more dissing the fan base. My best friend was there in KC and said we had about 25% of their home opener decked out in blue and silver and singing Gridiron Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
And at Brent Do It, yeah,
Nice.
the dude blew a knee and knee surgery and was basically butchery back. Then he was a serious badass. Who was that? James?
That was about the head slap.
Oh.
Alzado took someone out.
48 minutes covering a win. God, I can't wait till the first time we got to talk about a loss.
Well, hey, let me get some little shot out there.
Okay, dear Jeff, have it.
I was gonna rant about the refs, but I mean that's enough for me. My thing is, everybody has shit. Everybody shit on Detroit Lions draft, yet every one of them top picks was out there making plays. Jahmyr Gibbs was making plays. Brian Branch was making plays. Jack Campbell had, Jesus, you see that guy dive to knock that fucking pass away as a linebacker, 6'5" linebacker?
Mm-hmm.
Sam Laporta was out there making plays. You can't really shit on it now, can you?
Nope, not at all.
You're right, James. Sorry.
I do believe they brought that up in the national broadcast, too, about our draft.
Yes, they did.
To give us an idea how significant this win is, Patrick Mahomes' record against NFC opponents in the regular season is 18-3. The 3 is that last stop right now that the Lions just did to him. In other words, he doesn't lose to NFC opponents in the regular season.
Yes. Great stat. Well, here's another great stat. Mahomes is now 5-1 in week 1.
Yep.
And also, this was Andy Reid's 9th loss as Kansas City's head coach in week 1.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been there a long time.
That feels good.
Yeah.
Did Alex Smith lose every first week season or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you talking as his whole career? Like Philly, Kansas City?
No, I'm saying Andy Reid during his time there. 14 years now with the Chiefs. There was Andy Reid. There was the couple of guys or Alex Smith and the couple of guys that was there before him.
Yep.
They lost every year until Pat Mahomes started.
Yep.
In week 1.
He was pretty angry on the sidelines, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Reid on the sideline after that Branch interception, the rest of the game, every time they looked at him, he looked like he was looking across at his cheeseburger being ate by Dan Campbell from the celebratory, the ring celebration.
I love the look on the fake punt better, that whole sideline.
Oh, yeah. That special teams coach
went to
going
all
ballistic.
the
coaches. The balls of that man.
And that's why they started putting their defense in when we punted. They didn't have their punt team in there. They had their defense.
This was Reid's 14th year with Kansas City.
Damn.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard to imagine.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I was about to say I got a question for the panel. Anybody seen that hockey movie Miracle by Disney?
Of
Yes.
course.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Oh, yeah.
that was the whole game, right?
Yeah. That was a real game. Yeah.
Yep, we
The
beat the
Alaskan
Russians.
Reckless.
They
Yeah.
might beat us. Yeah, they might beat us 9
sorry, wrong one.
times, but not this time.
Yep.
Beat
No,
the
that
Rush.
was the Miracle on Ice. Sorry, I was thinking of Spirit Alaska. Sorry, but no. Yep, that was real shit. Al Michaels' call and everything else.
Yep. Yep.
Ooh, wait a second. Now, Dad asked a question. My number has been retired along with 2 wires. First round draft pick. First time in 30 years anyone from my college was drafted in the first round. Who am I? Was that Barry Sanders?
No, Barry Sanders, his number's still retired.
Now, Oklahoma
No,
State.
Billy Sims.
but Barry's number 20 has been retired twice
No,
with
his
Barry
dad's
Sanders and
talking
Len Barney.
about.
I'm at least 30 years too young to know the answer to this. I
Yeah.
have a feeling.
Oh.
Wait. I think
Oklahoma?
it's Mel Farr because
It
they
might
retired
be
his number. Yep, they retired his number. Now
where he
people
played.
still wearing it.
Was
he
he a
played.
first round?
I think no, he wasn't. But he
He's
was
talking
high up
about a
there
first
though.
round.
It's Barry Sanders.
Oklahoma. He played for Oklahoma State, right? Barry did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Someone else had to play for OSU. Or someone else
I'm
had to be
saying
number
not a
one
first
pick from
round pick
OSU.
before him.
First
Did,
round. First time a
did
first
Dad
round
give
draft
the
pick.
official answer yet or not?
Wait,
James Burgess says it's Barry Sanders.
Come on, Dad, give the official answer.
no.
Smoking Dad, are you still in the building? Was it Barry?
There was a wide receiver from Oklahoma State that got drafted in the first round.
After him.
Yeah, after him. But he said hasn't been drafted in 30 years. It was.
No, it said before first time in 30 years anyone from my college was drafted in the first round. Who am I? That's
Oh.
why I said Barry Sanders.
I was thinking like past 30 years, somebody from Oklahoma.
No, 30 years before him was the other one that was in the first round. I think it's Barry Sanders.
No, it was Thurman Thomas.
Thurman
Thomas was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
Thurman
was.
Thomas was before Barry.
The year
Yep.
before him. Unless it was Mel Farr because that would be
Oklahoma State does
Len
not
Barney.
produce many first rounders.
Who was it? Didn't Brandon Whedon go to Oklahoma State?
Oh,
Oh, before he
Fucking
think
and
so.
then it disappeared. Oh,
Yeah.
now I gotta look it up.
someone's gonna need to Google
Jeez.
that shit. Oh, and JB, you were right about Tombstone. Sorry, I was thinking other shit. But yes, it was Tombstone and Lyle Alzado was that nasty Denver defensive line. They were vicious.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That old school
Oh.
AFL West between Denver, Kansas City, and Oakland. Oh, that was some great football.
Right,
Barry was
James.
Thurman's backup, and
Yep.
Switzer took his boys not to hurt Thurman because Barry was better.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we'll just go with it being
Look it
Barry.
up. I'm gonna look that up because that's a good one.
Mhm.
You know, Smoking Dad, there's a back button on your browser. You're saying.
Hey, be careful with that. You don't know who's in the room. You don't want what goes back there. Bastard.
Wait, you want Jeff Chadwick's number retired?
We still waiting on Dad.
He doesn't know the answer.
He accidentally clicked off the screen or something.
He got hit with a clickbait.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Uncle Dad, those girls are really not
It was
your area.
probably Asian girls looking for happiness.
Nah, it wasn't that.
They had to show him. They had to show him about 35 other stats before they got to the stat that he could get to, and then by the time he got there, it disappeared.
Right.
Asian girls looking for happiness. Man. No, that's not for podcast. I'll tell you guys about that later.
Oh shit! I'll have to stick around and hear that story.
You know, I gotta say it now. Got it. Where I work, right next door, there was a massage parlor.
Oh boy,
an Asian massage parlor,
Uh-oh.
and they were known for
Uh-oh.
the tug thing there. Last week, they got raided by the FBI.
Wow.
That wasn't a happy ending.
No,
They
apparently the owner of that place owned 15 other ones through New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. They had cameras outside of the building, 26 of them, for the past year, filming everybody going in and out of there.
Jeez.
So James,
Now
did you
we
look
know
it up?
how
Was it
Robert
Barry
Kraft
Sanders?
got busted.
Dan, I thought I noticed a little bit more aggression in your voice. Are you all right since that place been raided, or?
No, there it is. It's Mike Gimber of Lions Talk by Chat Sports One Pride. Yeah, Victory Friday. How
All
you
right.
doing there,
One
Mike?
pride.
Did we ever find the answer, Jeremy?
No, I tried to look it up, but it wouldn't. The answer didn't lead me to one. They led me to lists of first round draft picks, and I'm not going through them all right now.
We just gave up on it.
Right. That's what I was saying. Yo, Jay's right. He wasn't a
Thurman
first
Thomas
rounder.
was
He
a
was a second rounder. Right. That's why I was saying he didn't get picked in the first. That was too high up.
No, so Thurman Thomas can't be the answer.
No, so
No,
Barry
it's not.
Answer.
So yeah, I'm sticking with Barry. Yeah, that's what I would think. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. It has been a fantastic evening. Let's ride
Jeremy's
this
on his
wave
way
for
to
the
the
next
massage parlor.
10 days. Uh, looking forward to doing a show with everybody again on Wednesday.
Let's go Lions.
They love you long time, Jeremy.
Thank you very much to DC, Wise Bearded Dad, Chris Smith, Chad, Dan Leonard, and Jeff. You guys were great. Thank you to everybody in the chat. At one point, there was 16ias watching. That's amazing. If you are on the Facebook side, please make sure you click the YouTube. For some reason, Restream isn't allowing the Facebook messages to come through. So, love to see your comments. Go subscribe. I'm sitting at 302 subscribers now and on my way
to 303.
Yeah, on my way to 500. I got to get to 500. That's the goal.
One step at a time, Jeremy.
Yep,
303.
one at a time, one at a time.
You guys, it's been fun, man.
Try
Yes,
every day to be
it
a
has.
better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. Thank you very